Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So we got a bunch of news today, so we'll start off with the good news. The Washington football team has activated wide receiver Curtis Samuel off the PUP list, and he's going to, start conditioning and come back relatively soon. And also, the Washington football team has released Kelvin Harmon, Chris Miller, and also running back Lamar Miller. So we have a lot to talk about. We'll talk about Curtis Samuel first, and I'll show you guys some clips of him at practice today. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm about 150 subscribers away from 6,000, so please help me get there. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's start off with the good news. The Washington football team activated Curtis Samuel off the PUP list, and then after that, we'll get into the Washington football. And now off the PUP list. So that is really good news because, he's going to come back at some point in the next couple weeks. We'll see if they give him some preseason reps. Ron Rivera did say it would be nice if they could give him some, reps in that last preseason game. John Keim says Curtis Samuel will do position work, but not full team drills, build up conditioning, and work back in. And I think that is very smart. I think they've been smart with this injury. I really think it wasn't a huge issue, but they want him to be at 100% before, they give him live game action reps and, these 11v11 reps that they're doing right now in practice. They want him to be fully healthy because they got time. They've got, 3.5 weeks until the regular season starts, and there's no reason to rush him in right now because it's just preseason. Once the games actually start, then that's when you want him on the field. But right now, give him as much rest as possible. And, once, he's ready, give him some reps with Fitzpatrick because that is important. That's really the thing he's missing. But he knows the offense. He's played with Terry. And, he has played with Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke. But with Fitzpatrick, he needs some reps. And he's getting some today. And I'll show you guys some clips real quick just of him, in practice today, doing those individual drills. Patrick throws to him, not sure. Oh no, it's Heineke, but still, he's getting reps, getting some reps in. So that's good to hear right there. And I think in the next few days, he'll start to ramp it up. And I don't think he'll play in the preseason game on Friday, but he might play, I think, on the last preseason game this year. And Ron Rivera even said that last week during his press conference. So that is really good news because it was starting to get a little bit concerning. So it's good to hear that he's back because he's going to be our second receiving option on this team. Had 850 yards receiving last year and 200 yards rushing. So had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. I think he'll have close to it or more than 1,000 yards receiving if he can stay healthy for the season. I think, he's got, if you look at his stats, he's gotten better every single year, just getting better and better in, his receiving stats and also his rushing stats. I don't think he'll get more than 200 yards rushing this year. I just don't think that's very realistic. I don't think they're going to use him that much in the run game. I think they will use him a little bit, but I think they have other guys for that in, Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, Barber, and even Patterson. So I think that he'll be used in the run game a little bit, but I think he's really going to help us out in the receiving game, especially, help out Terry McLaurin, who really hasn't had many threats around him. Now he's going to have Curtis Samuel and De'Ami Brown and a couple others and Adam Humphries and Cam Sims. So that's good to hear right there. So real quick, let's get into the Washington football team releasing 3 players. So they released Kelvin Harmon, Lamar Miller, and Chris Miller. Chris Miller, not really a surprise at all. Lamar Miller and, Kelvin Harmon, a little bit of a surprise right there. They had to do this, teams must cut rosters down to 85 by Tuesday. So that's in a couple days. So they had to get a few players down and they, decided to, cut Lamar Miller, Chris Miller, and Kelvin Harmon. Lamar Miller, not too much of a surprise, just because, Gibson looked good, McKissick looked good, and that wouldn't have had an effect anyways. Barber looked good also, and Patterson looked really good. So that really bumped him down, and Jonathan Williams as well was getting reps before Lamar Miller and Jonathan Williams looked solid as well. So, Lamar Miller is cut. I guess they just didn't see enough from him to think he has a chance to make this roster. So it's really, if they keep four, it's between Patterson, Barber. It's really, if they keep four, Patterson's going to make it. We know that now. Jonathan Williams, I really don't think he has a chance to beat out Patterson. If they keep three, we'll see. It'll probably be between Patterson and Barber. Chris Miller, not a surprise at all that they cut him. I didn't even see him much on the field in that game on training camp started. Some people had him on making the roster. I didn't. I had AGG over him, and that still might not happen. It might be one of those slot guys or returners. But Kelvin Harmon, he just, I guess, didn't show enough in training camp. And, in the preseason, he was getting the reps with the third team. Had one catch, which is good. But I said it in my video yesterday. I mean, AGG and Kelvin Harmon need to step up if they want to make this roster. And Washington, I guess, feels the same. They already cut Kelvin Harmon, and AGG, I don't think he's going to get cut until final cuts. But he still needs to show up and, make some big plays, not only in practice, which they're having right now, but he also needs to do that in the real games, in the preseason games. Because, I mean, if you look at the preseason game from Thursday, Steven Sims had one catch for, 15 plus yards, and he had a nice return as a kick returner. DeAndre Carter didn't really do much in the passing game. In the receiving game, but he had 2 returns on average for 19 yards. That's really, really good. And then Dax Milne had 1 or 2 catches, which is good, and he also had a good return in the punt return game. Got targeted once, couldn't come down with the catch, and then also had that 2-point conversion, which I thought was a catch, but I guess he didn't keep control, which is unfortunate for him, and that's a little bit of a dink against him. So I mean, he has to show up if he wants to make this roster. He's definitely on the bubble. We already know, and I've been saying this for a long time, we know who the first 5 are. These guys are absolute locks in Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, Adam Humphries, and Cam Sims. It's really a battle for that, 6th and 7th receiver spot. And really the only surprising thing about this Harmon release is that he got released before, players like Tony Brown and Isaiah Wright. I think he was better than them, but I guess the staff didn't, and maybe they can still try to keep him on the practice squad if he does, clear the practice squad. It's unfortunate that, in his rookie year, Kelvin Harmon was pretty solid, especially in the second half of the season. He looked pretty good. Him and Steven Sims looked really good in the second half. And then, last year, before the season starts, before even training camp started, he tore his ACL, and I really think he would have obviously made the roster last year if he didn't tear his ACL and he had a chance to, show the coaching staff what he could do. And, that's really unfortunate for him. Hopefully he gets picked up by another team. Maybe Washington is still able to keep him on the practice squad. I don't know. We'll see. There might be some teams that still want him. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think it's good news that Curtis Samuel is back. He should be, back to 100% in the next week or so, week to 10 days. So that's really good news. That's unfortunate some of these players got cut, but that's part of the business. And there's going to be more guys getting cut in the next couple days. Tamarick Hemingway was getting runs with the 2s earlier, a couple weeks ago in the last week or so. But now maybe he possibly gets cut before Tuesday. That's probably a little bit too early for him, but you never know. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.